My name is Emily. On Christmas Eve, my father humiliated my daughter in front of our entire family. By the next morning, he discovered I was paying for far more than he ever admitted. If you've had a family member cross a line like that, tell me what happened to you in the comments. The living room was crowded, voices overlapping, plates moving from hand to hand. My daughter stood near the coffee table, both hands wrapped around a small box with red paper. She hadn't opened it yet. Richard cleared his throat. "Put that down," he said. She froze. A few people laughed, thinking it was a joke. Richard stepped closer and took the box from her grip. "You don't get a present tonight," he said. "You weren't well behaved." The words landed harder than the room expected. Someone shifted their chair. Another person pretended to check their phone. My daughter stared up at him, confused. Her face tightened. The sound came fast, sharp, and broke through the chatter. "Dad," I said, "stop." Richard didn't look at me. "Kids don't learn if you coddle them," he replied. "This is a lesson." He set the box on the shelf behind him, out of reach. I moved closer. "That's enough. Give it back." He finally turned. "You always interfere," he said. "This is why she acts like this." A cousin glanced away. An aunt picked up a plate that didn't need clearing. No one spoke. My daughter cried harder. Her shoulders shook. She reached for me, fingers clenching my sweater. I lifted her. "We're leaving." Richard waved a hand. "Fine, storm out. She'll understand later." We passed the tree, the table, the half-opened gifts meant for other kids. No one stopped us. No one followed. The hallway stretched longer than it should have. Halfway down, Richard's voice floated back from the living room. "She'll get over it," he said to someone. "They always do." The front door opened. Cold air rushed in. I stepped outside, holding my daughter tight as she buried her face against my shoulder. The driveway lights were still on. I strapped her into the back seat, hands steady, movements practiced. The crying slowed, but didn't stop. The driver's door shut, the engine stayed off. For a few seconds, nothing moved. A phone buzzed in my coat pocket. The screen lit up before I touched it. A bank notification sat at the top, unopened. Another followed right after, then a third. I didn't read them yet. The car rolled to a stop in front of the school drop-off lane. My daughter climbed out without looking back at the house we'd left the night before. Her backpack slid off one shoulder. I adjusted the strap and kissed the top of her head. A teacher crouched to her level. "Rough morning?" "She didn't sleep much," I said. The teacher glanced at my daughter's eyes, still swollen. "Anything we should know?" "Just tired." That was enough. The bell rang. She joined the line without turning around. The phone started vibrating before I reached the office parking lot. A text from my aunt came first. "Richard didn't mean it like that." Another followed from my uncle. "It was Christmas. Emotions get high." Then a cousin. "Don't blow this up. You know how he is." Each message arrived as if nothing had interrupted dinner the night before. No one asked how my daughter was doing. At work, the lobby doors slid open and closed on schedule. My badge scanned. The elevator stopped on our floor. Emails stacked up while the coffee brewed. A vendor invoice needed approval. A shipment delay required rerouting. The day kept moving. Another message popped up, this one longer. "He's old-fashioned," my aunt wrote. "You can't expect him to change now." The phrasing felt polished, passed around before it reached me. A calendar reminder chimed for a budget review. Numbers waited in neat rows. That part made sense. Near noon, Marcus Hill leaned against the counter by the break room, holding a paper cup. "You look like someone tried to rewrite your weekend," he said. "Something like that." We stepped aside while others filled their mugs. "My dad went after my kid," I said, in front of everyone. Marcus didn't react right away. What did he say? He took a gift and told her she didn't deserve it. A pause followed, not awkward, just measured. "Anyone step in?" he asked. "No." Marcus nodded once. "That tracks." "For what?" "For someone who's used to being covered for." Lunch orders were called out. He grabbed his bag. "People like that don't test limits," he added. They assume there aren't any. Back at the desk, another email from family waited. This one came with a subject line, "Let's talk." I didn't open it. The banking app sat on the phone screen, unopened since the driveway the night before. During a short break, the icon caught my eye. Balances loaded fast. Party expenses from the weekend showed up first. Catering, decorations, gift purchases, all charged to my card. Scrolling revealed the monthly transfers, utilities, insurance, the mortgage payment for Richard's house. Every line traced back to the same account. A call came through before the screen locked. "Emily," Richard said. No greeting. "Last night went a bit far." Silence held on my end. "But you know how kids are," he continued. "They push boundaries." "She's 6, I said. "Exactly. That's when it starts." "What do you want?" I asked. "I want us to move past it," he replied. "Family shouldn't hold grudges." "I'm at work," I said. "I can't talk." A sigh came through the speaker. "You always do this. Cut things short." "I have a meeting." "Fine," he said. "We'll talk later." The line went dead. An automated alert popped up immediately after. "Upcoming scheduled transfer. Processing tomorrow." The timing felt pointed, even though it wasn't. A coworker stopped by with a clipboard. "Need this signed before 3. I signed and handed it back. The afternoon passed in tasks that required precision. Calls answered, numbers checked, a problem solved before it grew. Marcus walked by once more. "You okay?" "I'm functional." "That's usually when things change," he said, then kept going. Toward the end of the day, another family email arrived. This one copied half the contact list. "We all love each other," it read. "Let's not let one moment ruin that." No one mentioned the child. At my desk, the laptop opened to the corporate banking portal. Credentials entered. 2-factor code approved. The dashboard loaded without comment. Scheduled payments appeared in a column on the right, lined up weeks in advance. The laptop stayed open after work. Bills filled the screen in tidy rows. Rent, utilities, insurance. A credit card ending in numbers I knew by heart. Each line tied back to Richard in a way I'd stopped noticing years ago. Mortgage payment posted on the 1st of every month. Electric bill followed a week later. The secondary card carried grocery charges from a store near his house. Nothing dramatic, just steady. An email arrived while I scrolled. "Upcoming transfer scheduled." The subject line didn't mention names, no context. A date and an amount sat in the body, plain and final. A message from Marcus came through right after. "If you stop, don't explain." No punctuation, no follow-up. The phone rang before the screen dimmed. "Emily," Richard said, sharper than earlier. "Are you doing something with the accounts?" "Adjusting a few things," I said. "What kind of things?" "Administrative." "That sounds vague." "It is." He didn't laugh. "I saw a notification," he said. "Something about a payment?" "The system sends those." A breath came through the line. "You're not cutting me off." "I'm reviewing," I said. "You always do this," he replied. "Handle money like it's a switch." "It is." Silence stretched, then broke. "You're upset about last night," he said. "That doesn't mean you punish me." "I'm at home," I said. "I'll call later." The call ended without agreement. The banking portal asked for re-authentication. A code arrived by text. The screen refreshed. A guarantee listed under my name caught my eye. Long-standing. Automatic renewals attached. Customer service answered after 2 prompts. "Thank you for calling," the woman said. "How can I help today?" "I need to remove my name from a guarantee," I said. "Account number ending in 214, she typed. "For security, can you confirm?" Details exchanged. The process moved forward. "That request will take effect immediately," she said. "You'll receive confirmation by email." "Today?" "Yes." No pause for questions about relationships or reasons. Just procedure. Another email landed within seconds. Confirmation. Association removed. The message included a timestamp and a reference number. The subject line looked like every other system notice I'd ever received. Family texts started lighting up the phone. My aunt, "Your father sounds shaken." A cousin, "You didn't have to go that far." An uncle, "Let him cool down, don't escalate." None of them asked what I'd done, only how it made him feel. Richard called again. "What does association removed mean?" he asked. "It means what it says." "So you're serious?" "I'm working through the list." "This is about control," he said. "You've always needed it." "I need clarity," I replied. "You're being cold." "I'm being accurate." He raised his voice. "You think paperwork makes you right?" "I think it makes things clear." The line went dead. An automated alert chimed. Scheduled payment pending approval. The amount matched the mortgage. A new email followed, addressed to Richard and copied to me. Payment attempt failed. Action required. No tone, no apology. Dinner waited on the counter. I didn't touch it. Another message from Marcus arrived. Systems don't argue. The family thread split. Some messages came privately now. "She's always been distant," someone wrote. "You're choosing money over people," another said. A third suggested meeting in person, as if proximity might change numbers. The portal refreshed again. A large payment sat highlighted, waiting for confirmation. The phone rang once more. "You can't do this," Richard said. "I'm not set up for it." "You are now." "That's not how family works. That's how accounts do." A pause followed. The tone shifted. "I did my best with you," he said. "I didn't deserve this." "I'm not debating that," I said. "You could at least explain." "I'm fixing things," I said. "That's all." The call ended. No goodbye. A confirmation window opened on the laptop. "Cancel scheduled transfer?" 2 buttons waited. Yes. No. The cursor hovered. Another family message came in. "Please stop before it gets ugly." The word ugly didn't belong to any line item on the screen. Yes. A second prompt appeared. "Are you sure?" Yes. The screen updated. "Transfer canceled successfully." A receipt number printed beneath it. The house stayed busy outside the window. Cars passed. A dog barked somewhere down the block. The phone buzzed again with another system email. "Your changes have been saved." No questions followed, no warnings. I closed the laptop and reached for the plate on the counter, already cold, and carried it to the sink. The missed transfer hit his account on the 3rd business day after Christmas. I knew the timing because my phone started ringing before the school drop-off line cleared. Richard called first. The call went unanswered. Then another, and another. By mid-morning, the calls branched out. My aunt left a voicemail asking if everything was okay. An uncle followed with a text that said, "Your dad sounds worried." A cousin sent a screenshot of a family group chat I wasn't part of anymore. My name sat in the middle of a sentence that ended with the word, "the trail." The routine didn't change. Shoes tied, backpack zipped, a signature added to a permission slip at the front desk. At work, documents waited where I'd left them. A contract needed review. A vendor needed confirmation. The printer jammed and got fixed. Nothing urgent enough to step away. A call slipped through during a meeting break. "He's telling people you abandoned him," my aunt said. "I just wanted you to hear it from me." "I hear it," I said. "You don't want to respond?" "I'm busy." "That's what he keeps saying you are." The call ended without advice. An automated email arrived around noon, forwarded to my inbox because my address still appeared on a legacy thread. Subject: Payment failed, action required. No explanation followed, just a link and a deadline. Another message popped up right after, this one from Richard. "Did you see this?" I didn't answer. Lunch passed without interruption. Marcus waved from the hallway and mouthed, "You good?" A nod covered it. The phone buzzed again while a form uploaded. "He's saying you cut him off on purpose," my cousin wrote. "People are upset." The word upset carried weight without detail. School pickup came and went. My daughter talked about a spelling quiz and a classmate who forgot their lunch. The day held. A knock landed at the door before dinner finished heating. I checked the screen by the handle. Richard stood on the porch, coat unbuttoned, hands moving as he spoke to no one. The knock came again. "Emily," he called, "open the door." A third knock followed, softer. The door stayed shut. "We need to talk," he said. "This is ridiculous." "I don't have anything to say," I replied through the door. "You can't shut me out like this." "I can." His voice rose. "You think money gives you that right?" "No," I said. "Behavior does." Silence followed, brief and unstable. "I didn't mean to upset the kid," he said. "You know that." "That's not what you said." "I was trying to teach her something." "I'm not funding that." A step sounded on the porch, then another, closer. "People are calling me," he said. "They think something's wrong." "They're right." The tone shifted. "I don't have time to set things up," he said. "You handled all that." "You'll have to learn." A breath came through the door, heavier now. "I'm your father." "I know." "You can't just stop." "I did." The porch creaked as he leaned closer. "You're punishing me." "I'm ending support." "That's the same thing." "It isn't." A phone chimed on his end. He checked it. "What is this?" he asked. "Another notice?" "I'm not sure," I said. "You did this fast." "Yes." The words landed without heat. "I need help," he said, "just until I figure it out. I'm not available." "That's cruel." "It's clear." Another phone alert sounded. His voice dropped. "It says I need to contact the bank." "That sounds right." He stood there longer than necessary. When he spoke again, the edge was gone. "You could at least explain it to them," he said. "They listen to you." "They can read." A pause stretched. He knocked once more, lighter this time. "Please," he said. "No." Footsteps moved away from the door. The porch went still. Dinner finished heating. Plates came out. Homework spread across the table. A pencil snapped and got replaced. The phone buzzed again. Subject: account update. The message came from the bank. The wording stayed formal. "Your association has been successfully removed." A reference number followed. A timestamp. No mention of Christmas. No mention of family. I marked the email as read and set the phone face down while the microwave beeped again, asking for attention. The calls changed tone. They no longer came with excuses or soft language. The messages arrived sharp, trimmed of patience. "You embarrassed your father. This didn't have to turn into a spectacle. You picked the worst possible time." The phone lit up during school pickup. It buzzed again while dinner cooked. Names rotated, but the words stayed close. Richard sent a message that stretched across the screen, longer than anything before. "I raised you on my own terms. I worked when I could have rested. I sacrificed more than you know. I'm not young anymore. My health isn't what it used to be. If you walk away now, I have nothing." No apology appeared. No reference to the night with my daughter. Just a list. Just debt, recast as love. The message stayed unread longer than usual. At work the next morning, a coffee run turned into a pause by the parking lot. Marcus leaned against his car, keys in hand. "You look tired," he said. "Everyone suddenly invested in my character," I replied. He nodded. "That happens when consequences show up." We stood there while traffic moved past. "He says he has nothing if I don't help," I added. Marcus glanced at the ground, then back up. "If this happened to your daughter in 20 years, he said, what would you tell her to do?" The question landed cleanly. No padding. "I'd tell her not to explain herself," I said. He nodded again. "Then you already know." The phone vibrated in my pocket. Another call from Richard. It went unanswered. Family pressure tightened. An aunt accused me of cruelty. A cousin said I was tearing things apart over pride. Someone else suggested therapy, as if this were confusion instead of math. Richard tried again later that afternoon. The voicemail came through before I left the office. "I can't manage this," his voice said. "I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not sure I can keep going like this." The message ended without a request. The implication did the work. Dinner passed, homework finished, a bath ran, a bedtime story got read, voice steady enough to hold the rhythm. After the door closed, the phone came back out. Another call, another missed ring. A text followed. "I'm not okay." The words sat there without context or plan. A notification popped up beneath it, unrelated. Reminder, account review completed. The contrast didn't ask for attention. It existed. Later that night, the car door shut and stayed that way. I sat in the driveway longer than necessary, engine off, hands resting on the steering wheel. The voicemail icon blinked. Richard again. "You don't understand how bad this is," he said. "I might not get through it." The words had weight. They were meant to. The recording from Christmas Eve waited in the voice memo app, saved without intention. A tap brought it back. My daughter's crying filled the car. The sound cracked early, then steadied, then broke again. A child trying to breathe through hurt she didn't name. The phone slipped from my hand to the seat. Another call came through. This time, I answered. "What do you want?" I asked. "I need you," Richard said. His voice had changed, softer, smaller. "I can't do this alone." "I know," I said. "You're really going to let this happen?" "Yes." Silence followed. Then anger crept back in. "You think you're better than me now," he said. "I think my child comes first." "That's not what family does." "That's exactly what it does." The line went dead. The recording played again without me touching it, the app set on repeat. I stopped it and locked the screen. The car stayed parked. The house waited. The phone buzzed once more. A message from Marcus this time. "You still standing?" "Yes." "That's enough for tonight." The story reached me through someone else's mouth. A cousin called while I waited in line at the pharmacy. Her voice dropped the moment I answered. "He's telling people you cut him off because you don't want to help anymore," she said. "Like you just decided you were done." "What exactly is he saying?" I asked. "That you pulled everything, left him with nothing. He's asking around for loans." The line stayed open. "He mentioned refinancing the house," she added. "Said he had no choice since you walked away." The call ended before I responded. The next step happened without emotion. A number saved from an earlier job came up on my phone. A short conversation followed with a bank representative who recognized my name. "No," she said, "you're not tied to any new liabilities. Anything he signs now stands alone." Another call confirmed the same thing from a different department. Clear, documented, final. At lunch, an email notification appeared before the tray reached the table. Subject, family. Richard had written everyone at once. The message stretched long, framed like a confession without fault. "I never expected my own daughter to abandon me. I gave everything I had raising her. Now I'm left explaining myself to banks and relatives. I don't understand how money became more important than family." The word abandon appeared twice. Replies started stacking under it, some quick, some cautious, a few loud. "This is heartbreaking. Kids forget where they come from. Money ruins people." No one asked for details. The reply didn't go to the group. A separate message went out, addressed individually. Attachments followed. Bank statements, transfer histories, dates aligned in columns, years of payments laid out without commentary. A confirmation email sat at the top of the stack. Subject, Association Removal Confirmation, ref number 847219. The file name carried the same tone, neutral, automatic, uninterested in family narratives. Another document showed utilities still covered, insurance premiums still active, expenses no one knew I'd kept paying. No explanation followed the attachments, no commentary, just records. The send button clicked once. Silence came after that. Not immediate, but steady. One reply disappeared entirely. A few messages stopped mid-thread. Someone unsent a comment from earlier in the day. An aunt who had called daily went still. A cousin who'd accused me of cruelty didn't follow up. At work, Marcus passed by with a raised eyebrow. "Things calmed down?" he asked. "Numbers went out," I said. "That'll do it." The phone rang late afternoon. Richard's name filled the screen again. I answered. "You didn't have to send all that," he said. "No anger this time. No edge." "People asked questions," I replied. "They didn't need proof." "They did." A pause followed. "You made me look bad." "You did that." His voice dropped. "I was trying to protect myself," he said. "From what?" "From being alone." The words landed differently than before. Smaller. Less certain. "I never said you were cut off completely," he continued. "I just needed time." "You told people I left you," I said. "You stopped paying." "I stopped one thing. That's what mattered." A notification buzzed during the call. Loan inquiry declined. The timing felt pointed, even though it wasn't meant to. "I don't know what I'm supposed to do now," he said. "That's not new," I replied. Silence stretched. Another message arrived from the bank while the call stayed open. Account status unchanged. No names attached. The evening moved on. Dinner cooked, homework finished, a spill got wiped off the counter. Life kept its pace. Richard called again later, this time after bedtime. His voice sounded thinner. "I didn't think it would get this far," he said. "It didn't," I replied. "It stayed where you took it." "I'm running out of options." "You still have some." "Not many." The pause held longer. "You're really going to let me figure this out on my own," he said. "Yes." No accusation followed. No guilt this time. The line stayed open, waiting for something else. Nothing came. "Are you really going to let me handle it alone?" he asked, quieter now. Work emails took priority. A contract revision went out. A vendor confirmation came back. The afternoon held its shape without interruption. A message arrived from my aunt later that day, shorter than usual. "Your dad's having a hard time. Banks won't move without paperwork." No question followed. Another text came in, this time from an uncle who rarely reached out. "He told us you covered everything for years," the message read. "That wasn't true, was it?" I replied with a single word. "No." A pause stretched between messages. "He's been saying that for a long time," my uncle wrote. We didn't check. That was all. The next call came from someone closer to him, a cousin who'd defended Richard early on. "I didn't know," she said, without greeting. "He told us he handled things himself." "Now you know," I said. "He's asking for help everywhere." "I'm not stopping anyone." Silence followed. The laptop came back out after dinner. Accounts loaded one by one. Remaining transfers reassigned. A savings fund shifted to a different category and retitled Child Trust. Confirmation prompts appeared. Each one required a click. Each one completed without comment. A final access panel showed linked accounts. Richard's name appeared twice. Both permissions got removed. Access revoked successfully. The phrasing didn't change. The phone rang again. This time I answered. "You're avoiding me," Richard said. "I'm busy." "That's not true." "It is." "I'm drowning," he said. "People keep calling me. They're responding. You turned them against me." "I sent facts." "You always hide behind paperwork." "I use it." And a breath came through the line. "You could fix this," he said. "One conversation." "I already had it." "No, you didn't." "I did." "You didn't listen." "I did." "You just didn't care." "That's not the same thing." His voice sharpened. "You think you're in control now." "I am." "That money changed you." "It showed things." "You're doing this to punish me." "I'm stopping it." "For what?" he asked. "One mistake?" "For a pattern." Silence followed, longer this time. "I never meant to scare her," he said. "You did." You're exaggerating. I'm protecting her. You're making me the villain. You chose that." He raised his voice. "Everything I did was for this family. And everything I'm doing is for mine. You're cutting me off. I'm setting limits. That's the same thing." "It isn't." The words came out flat, steady. "I won't let my child grow up afraid." The line stayed open. No response came back right away. A notification chimed while the call held. "Transfer completed." Another followed. "Permissions updated." Richard finally spoke. "So that's it," he said. "Yes." "You're really done." "With this," I said. A breath slipped through the receiver, not heavy, just tired. "You always were stubborn," he said. "I learned early." Silence settled again. Longer now. He didn't argue, he didn't plead. The call ended on my end. The phone went down on the counter. Dishes waited. A form from school sat half-signed. I picked up the pen and finished the signature. The changes didn't arrive all at once. They showed up through updates, forwarded messages, and short sentences passed along without comment. Richard sold the truck first, then the extra storage unit. A week later, a relative mentioned he was looking into downsizing the house. No one framed it as a crisis. It sounded logistical, necessary. Calls from families slowed and then stopped. No one defended him anymore. No one asked me to reconsider. Conversations moved on to other topics, as if the argument had reached its limit and simply ended. A notice came from the bank one afternoon, copied to an old thread that hadn't been cleaned up yet. Asset adjustment recorded. No explanation followed. I didn't push for anything else. No reports, no complaints. Letting the system finish felt different from saving him. The last call came late on a Tuesday. His name stayed on the screen longer than before I answered. "Emily," Richard said, "I won't keep you." "What do you need?" A pause. Papers shuffled on his end. "Just this once," he said. "Could you help a little?" "With what?" "Until I get settled." "No." Silence followed. He didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. "I figured I'd ask," he said. "I know." The call ended there. The email arrived before dinner. Subject, Association Status Update. The message held one line that mattered. "Your association has been successfully removed." A reference number sat beneath it, a timestamp, nothing else. The wording didn't soften. It didn't acknowledge history. It closed a file. Work kept its rhythm. Meetings started on time. Approvals moved through the queue. No late-night transfers needed review. The budget balanced without creative adjustments. Marcus stopped by one afternoon and glanced at my screen. "Looks calmer," he said. "It is." "Good," he replied, then walked on. At home, the calendar filled with ordinary things: a dentist appointment, a school event, groceries on Thursday. The last lingering payment alert disappeared from the app. No reminders followed. A sign-up page loaded on a Saturday morning. Outdoor class, weekend schedule, parent and child. "Are we really doing this?" my daughter asked. "Yes," I said. "Even if I get muddy?" "Especially then." The confirmation email arrived seconds later. Enrollment successful. Another neutral tone. Another system that didn't care who paid before. No reconciliation came after that. No apology waited to be discovered later. The silence stayed even, unremarkable. A family group chat buzzed once with unrelated plans. I didn't add anything. One evening, a message from Richard appeared and then vanished. No follow-up came. The phone stayed face down while homework finished and backpacks got set by the door. The next morning moved like any other. Shoes tied, lunch packed, a ride to school with talk about spelling tests and weekend plans. At the corner, my daughter reached for my hand. "Can we go early next time?" she asked. "Sure." The phone buzzed once more while we waited to cross. Another automated update from the bank. Nothing urgent. I slipped the phone into my pocket and stepped forward when the light changed.